So in this tutorial, we will be looking at streaming with Tubeist and the interface showing what you can do while you are streaming. So you can notice at the bottom of the screen that you are seeing some green bars that are moving. That's actually picking up the sound from the speakers. So you can see that you actually have audio going. There's also some system information down there. You can see the current CPU usage, the battery level on the phone, the temperature of the phone, how fast we are uploading data, how much of the available bandwidth we're utilizing, and if there are any buffered fragments. So ideally, we want to stay below 100% utilization and have at most one buffered fragment. Then we're staying within bounds and there will be no delays in the stream. So we also saw the settings button that looks like a cogwheel up on the top right corner. Down in the bottom right corner of the video, we can see a button that will start the recording. Above that, there's a small indicator that will turn green while we're streaming or recording. And it will be yellow if we're in a state where we're not able to upload as fast as we can, and it will turn red if there are some network issues that prevent us from uploading data altogether. You can also see there's a small 1x below the cogwheel. So if I start to zoom into the picture, you can see the zoom level there. Now it's at 2 times, and 2 times is the limit for the optical zoom on this lens, on this camera. So if I go above that, you will see that it will turn yellow, indicating that now we're actually using digital zoom as well. So for the best possible quality, we should stay below 2. I'm going to zoom back out. Okay. So let's look at the different buttons that we have on the right side. So at the top, we have a button to do power saving mode. So let's say you start a stream and you're at an event or something, and you know that the phone will be mounted on the tripod and not doing anything for a couple of hours except streaming. What you can do then is to turn on this power saving mode like this. And this will reduce the screen brightness as well as turn off any different features that consume CPU. And this will give you maximum battery life, and it will also not heat up the phone as much. So if you don't need to actually see everything at its peak brightness, this is a good thing to turn on while you're streaming. I'm going to turn it off again. Okay, so we're back. And the second button we have here is the camera button. Here we can select between different cameras. Right now I'm using the single common back camera. That can also use the triple camera or the telephoto camera. And we have the styles and effects, and you can see those specifically in another tutorial. Those are the only purchasable option that you have within Tubeist. It's an in-app purchase. We can also select the monitor if we want to look at the input view or the output view. If we look at the view from the camera, it won't be styled from these styles and effects that you see. In order to see those, we need to look at the output view, but that is slightly delayed if you have camera stabilization on. So let's move to the next one, which is camera stabilization. So here I can select different stabilization modes for my camera. I can turn it off. Oh, that's not good. Standard mode like that, cinematic, cinematic extended, and as you can see, well, you get a pretty good stabilization with these modes on. Next, we're going to look at the focus, and also you may have noticed that when I click something, the button turns yellow, so you can see which one is active right now, and if I take it away, it becomes white again. So if I click focus, I can, you can see now it's focused on the coffee cup, and if I click in the screen here on the computer, it focuses there instead. So I can actually shift focus by tapping somewhere on the screen while this is active. And there's also a slider to the right. Some of these have sliders, and when there's a slider, I can manually focus wherever I want with the slider. So if you want manual focus, you can do it like this. And as long as the focus button is yellow, the focus is locked. So if I click that again, it will unlock focus and start automatically focusing again. Same thing for exposure. So if I'm here, this is exposure bias. So if I turn it down, you can see the image becomes darker, or I can push it all the way up and it becomes brighter. So this is exposure bias. Same thing here, I can click somewhere in the screen and it will pick up the exposure there. Now it's kind of subtle because there's pretty good lighting in this room anyway. So, but you can lock exposure like this and keep it locked and prevent it from auto changing the exposure. The next one is the white balance. So as you can see right now, the image is kind of yellow, and if I put it there, you can see it's kind of yellow. If I click this, I will lock the white balance to what it is right now, and you can see that even if I look around the room here, the picture is kind of yellowish. If I unlock this, it will calibrate the white balance automatically to this, and let's say I'm satisfied with this, then I can lock the white balance, and even if I move back here to the computer, it will keep the same white balance wherever I point this. So you can see it's not changing the white balance anymore. This is useful if you're like walking about in a city or out in the forest where there's changing lighting conditions. You don't want the tonality of the colors to change while you're walking around. You should lock the white balance somewhere where you have a good white area that it has been able to capture the white balance from. So I'm going to switch that off. The next one is for the overlays. And here I can select if I want my overlays to be visible or hidden. So if I click here, I can show some overlays. And if I click there, I remove the overlays, so now they're hidden again. So I've added two overlays here. One is a scoreboard, and the second one is a logo type down in the left corner. And the final one at the bottom is the journal. This is where I keep a log of the activities that's going on. So it will be white if there are no errors. Should there be any type of error within Tubeist, this will turn red, and then you can go in and look at what the error is. So this is more technical stuff, but you can look at what's going on here and see what is happening within the app. There's also a timestamp showing when these different messages were printed from the app. All right, I've also set up here the HLS relay. So what you see now is the HLS relay waiting for input. We showed that also in a different tutorial. Here is YouTube Studio pending and waiting for a stream to start. I'm going to click the stream button here and we'll see what happens. So once I click the stream button here, you can see it turns green and it starts to upload information there. That was FFmpeg kicking in, doing the remuxing and pushing the stream to YouTube. Okay, I think I need to lock the white balance over here. So it's pushing the stream now to YouTube, and oh, it was my computer that died. Okay, here it is, and as you can see, the stream is now live, and we're seeing what's happening. And you can also see over here that it's showing the HDR marking there on the cogwheel here, so we're clearly transmitting HDR images to YouTube. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. That's the way you live stream to YouTube from Tubeist with the different settings. Oh, and I can mention, you see that the cogwheel up on the top right is now yellow, so it's locked because you shouldn't be able to change any of those settings while a stream is running, since those are stream configurations. Okay, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching.